The following is a presentation of 4-Star Sports Media. Hey fans, did you know that 4-Star Sports Media now has a YouTube channel? You can catch exclusive content covering all things Memphis Tigers and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Shows like The Point, and the only show on social media about the Arkansas Razorbacks that is purely fan-driven, Inside the Hog Pen. Plus other shows like The Hog Trough, the 4-Star Sports Show, and many more coming soon. So check them out today. Go on YouTube.com and search 4-Star Sports Media. Welcome to the 4-Star Sports Media College Football Pickem Show. Now, live from the BA Mask Studios, here is your host, from The Point, Wes Pruitt. What's up, everybody? Razorback Zach in for Wes Pruitt this evening. And, of course, I'm joined, as always, every week, by my cohorts and co-hosts, the man of the day, Christian Johnston from the Hog Trough, Brandon Bumgarner from The Point, Willie B, and Nate. What's up, fellas? How we doing?
Doing good.
Rolling along.
So we want to thank everybody for joining us on Spotify, Apple, Google Play. Everywhere there is a podcast where you can catch us. Thank you. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel, search bar 4-Star Sports Media, and of course, our brand new website, 4star.live. You can catch articles there. You can catch all of our live shows and so much more. Check it out. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. All right, fellas, before we get into this has been a crazy week in college football as far as the coaching carousel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So before we jump into that, I want to ask you guys, what, coming out of week 13, going into the conference championships, what kind of surprised you the most? Nate, we'll start with you.
That's a good one. I guess it's got to be the. I know it's going to be everybody, so I'll just go ahead and spoil the party. The Lincoln Riley leaving Oklahoma when they're 10-2 to jump to USC and leave the guys. And apparently, he said the same thing. He's like, he told Oklahoma, and that's the thing. If you look in more detail, it's a bunch of stuff. But the whole thing about it is just the simple fact that he left Oklahoma like he did. They were 10-2. They're going to a New Year's Eve bowl, I believe, but left them just out of the blue. I mean, he literally pulled a Lane Kiffin.
He really did. He really did. And everybody, the whole Trader thing with the banners all across the campus, the fact that like you said, Nate, he said the same thing to the USC to the Trojans and all that. I mean, you gotta wonder, is he scared to join the SEC? Well, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, I think. Just to kind of piggyback on that, I think that's definitely the reason. I don't think he probably was too fond of Oklahoma joining the SEC. You're competing with a conference that everybody knows you're always going to have Alabamas, you're always going to have your Georgias. Every once in a while, maybe an Arkansas or LSU can scrap and get up there. But yeah, I don't think he was real keen on that. But the way, another one I think is kind of shady, but not really to be, too far out of his wheelhouse would be Brian Kelly. Those guys still had an opportunity to possibly sneak into, if things fell right, they could possibly sneak into the playoff. I don't think it's going to happen now, but I'm not sure it would have anyways. But just to kind of leave the way he did, to be down there, negotiating everything, and then to text his guys, and that's how they find out from him, regardless of how they found out through social media or whatnot. Maybe just come back and then address everybody face to face. But yeah, he seems like the kind of guy anyways. He's out for himself. He's kind of like Urban Meyer or somebody like that. They want to feed you all the good, happy lines, and then they're just as well going to walk out on you. I mean, Cal did the same thing to us, with our basketball team. I mean, the night after we lost, he
did the same thing to Arkansas football.
Yeah. So I mean, there's plenty of stories like it. It's not uncommon, but yeah, he was one. Not to say it was a surprise, but just to leave like that and so abruptly when they have, they have a pretty big opportunity still ahead of them, really.
Right. Christian, what about you, buddy?
Well, are we still on the?
What surprised you the most in Week 13?
Well, I mean, I could go with the obvious one, Brian Kelly. He just doesn't seem like a guy that understands the Louisiana culture, the Cajun, lifestyle. So that was an interesting hire there. But I believe obviously money had a lot to do with that, and what this showed me is Notre Dame may not be the premier job like everybody thinks. I guess the money was one reason, but I mean, to leave Notre Dame, that must that's got to be tough for Notre Dame to lose a coach like Brian Kelly, who consistently won them 10 or 11 games every year, and then
winningest coach in history.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I guess good for him. I don't want to say good luck to Brian Kelly because he's at LSU, but I think it could potentially be a good fit for him, but it'll just have to wait and see.
Bum, what do you think, man? What surprised you the most in Week 13?
Mine's a game. So Oklahoma State being down as much as they were late in the game and coming back and beating Oklahoma. Can y'all hear me?
Yep. Oh, we got you.
Yeah, sorry. Coming back and beating Oklahoma and then putting themselves in the playoff conversation. They were – I'm not going to say they were out of it, but, didn't think they were ever really in it, and they inserted themselves in that conversation.
Right. One of the things, too, Bum, going back on that, there's a lot of teams that are in the playoff conversation. I mean, look at Michigan. Michigan came out of nowhere this year. In my opinion. In my opinion, they did.
Well,
I did say they were going to win the Big Ten.
They started the year really well, and a lot of people thought this was going to be the year that they could beat Ohio State, and it was. So now you're kind of, is Harbaugh going to pull the typical Michigan and lose to Iowa this weekend and allow another team to possibly jump up in there, or allow Alabama with a close loss or a win over Georgia to jump back in there? Who knows? But it is exciting. I'm sticking to the games, guys. I think, and yes, coaching carousel has been awesome to keep up with, and there's so much going on with it. But yeah, Oklahoma State inserting themselves, also Michigan inserting themselves, and who thought Cincinnati would be there at the beginning of this year? It's very fun to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that, and like I said, we'll get into the championship games here in a little bit, but there's a lot of teams right now that you don't typically see, A, in the top 25, and B, like you said, Bum, in the top 4 conversation. So, Will, I got to ask, man, what did you find most bizarre? I mean, what was the most bizarre thing you saw in Week 13?
I don't know. Just get me and come back. I'll think it over.
Christian,
So I had to consume quite a bit over the holiday.
right?
There's a couple games that come to mind. I'm not going to say it was bizarre because it was the Iron Bowl, but how Auburn was able to take Alabama to the wire, I did not expect that at all. But I think I'm going to go with, I mean, I know LSU's a talented football team, but I didn't really expect A&M to lose to LSU. And the way that LSU won was pretty crazy. How to send Coach O out on a win like that, that was pretty cool to see. So bizarre wouldn't be the word I would use, but just that was the most unexpected game of the week, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that would probably be mine, would be the Iron Bowl. Auburn had that game won, and in typical Auburn fashion, like they do this year, they choked.
A 99-yard drop. That punter put that ball on the 1-yard line on a dime. And Alabama said, okay, we got a minute and 30 seconds? We're driving the field.
Yep.
And they scored. That's Nick Saban
exactly
for you, man.
what they did. That's exactly what they did. Bum, what was your most bizarre moment of Week 13?
Mine involves a undefeated team. What was an undefeated team? UTSA losing to North Texas.
And they didn't.
UTSA,
it wasn't a loss. It wasn't a close loss either, was it?
No, it wasn't. And UTSA, every game they played in except for UAB in Memphis were basically blowouts. I mean, they were playing really, really good football throughout the entire year. And you get to Week 13, and you blew it. I mean, you could have gone to a pretty decent bowl game. I know they're a Conference USA team, soon to be in the American, but you blew a pretty decent reason to make yourself in a pretty decent bowl game. You know, credit to that staff down there though; they're building something very special in San Antonio. I do not want to play them anymore. Unfortunately, they're going to be in our conference, so it's going to be tough to play them every single time that we have to. But yeah, man, you had all the momentum in the world. There was 3 undefeated teams sitting there. The rest, for the season, it was Alabama, Cincinnati, and UTSA. And UTSA goes out there against a very average North Texas team and just laid an egg. It was weird.
Yeah, it was one of the most unusual things, that's for sure. All right, Nate. What was your most bizarre thing in Week 13?
I mean, y'all talk about it being bizarre, but the Iron Bowl is the Iron Bowl. I mean, it don't matter what your record is. Two good teams from great state of Alabama facing off against each other.
Pump the brakes. Auburn's not good.
Auburn's not good.
But here's the thing y'all need to know about the Iron Bowl. For the past 5 games, the home team has always won. And for the first time in 5 years, the home team didn't win. Yeah, we drove 98 yards for the final touchdown. And not to mention, we did it without Jameson Williams because he got called for targeting, so he got ejected. We had a freshman in Brooks that caught the overtime touchdown pass. And you had Mechie stepping up. And not to mention, Brown Robinson went out. So you had Trey Sanders stepping up for us. I wouldn't call it bizarre, but there was something bizarre that happened, and that was when Auburn fired Mike Bobo after the game. That was the most bizarre thing they could have done, is to let that man go.
I don't mean to take over, Nathan.
No, go ahead.
I went on a guy, his show today, Rob Brown over at Sidelines. Big Auburn fan, and I talked to him on the phone after the game. He said that Mike Bobo should have been fired the 6th game of the year. And he said if it wasn't that game, it should have been the Mississippi State game. They're up 25, and they got conservative and blew that game. Auburn fans aren't big fans of Mike Bobo. Auburn fans are not big fans of Mike Bobo. I'm not going to say that the firing was not warranted, because I think it was, but also, as you said, Nathan, Auburn's offense at times looked pretty decent this year. So, and they have a really young team over there. So I really don't know what's going on through the head coach's mind over there and everything like that with getting rid of him after his first year at Auburn.
Yeah, but here's the thing. After the game, after the Iron Bowl's all said and done, you see Shivers and 2 other players leave Auburn and enter the transfer portal. And that was some big. Shivers is actually one of the top running backs that they had. They actually used him out of the slot a lot. He's a speedy receiver. I mean, he's a speedster. Now, after the game and everything, there was talk that Alabama needs to get rid of Bill O'Brien. And yeah, there were times in Pro A calls that we did that I didn't agree with, and I'm sure Saban didn't either. And but then again, another bizarre thing is look at look at Martinez. Martinez leaving Nebraska now. So so that's big right there. What's going on with
that's just
Scott
because
Frost?
Scott Frost doesn't know how to coach.
Supposedly, one of Oklahoma's best wide receivers might be coming to Arkansas.
Yeah,
Hazelwood.
we'll get one of LSU's top running backs, and not to mention we're trying to get we're in talks with I believe the running back from TCU. There's just a list of names that all these top
Alabama don't need transfers. They just have to recruit.
No, we're gonna get some transfers here and there. I mean, Jameson Wiggins is a transfer from Ohio State. Look what he's done.
All right, gentlemen, it's the biggest topic of the week. The coaching changes around the country. We've already talked about Brian Kelly. We've talked about Lincoln Riley headed out west. Is this kind of the norm for this time of year? I mean, what coaching change outside of Brian Kelly and of course Lincoln Riley kind of surprised you? I mean, I think I read somewhere where Justin Fuente got let go. Is that right, Bum?
Yeah, Fuente got let go from Virginia Tech, and they brought in Penn State's defensive coordinator.
That's right. And then what about Nate, we'll start with, what do you think about rumors going around different to the ACC down to Miami?
Wait a minute, say that again, Zach. I didn't catch you. You're breaking up a little bit.
I said, what do you think of these rumors about Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss for Miami?
I mean, rumors are rumors, guys. Let's just go ahead and say it. But I don't think Lane Kiffin's leaving. He's already got. There's talk that Dylan Gabriel, quarterback transfer from UCF, is going to Ole Miss. There's talk that Archie Manning's going to Ole Miss. I mean, I don't see Lane leaving for Miami. I mean, he could, and I wouldn't be shocked because that's Lane Kiffin for you. He doesn't stay at places long, but I think he's got a lot going on at Ole Miss, and I think he's going to stay in the SEC to prove something. Because I mean, he could jump over to Miami and make Miami a good team, but I think what he is probably going to do is just stay at Ole Miss.
What about you?
If I could get my mic to work. You got me?
Yeah, we got.
Shoot. Okay, so crap.
Will, what about you, man? Now that Bum's having technical difficulties, what coaching change kind of surprised you? Whether it be a hiring or firing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, aside from the ones we've talked about as far as surprising, another one that I kind of found surprising just based on their record and what they're probably looking at least as far as a bowl game or continuing their season, would have been Billy Napier going from Louisiana to Florida, because they've had a pretty solid squad most of the year, and he's just sort of up and left them. But that'll be interesting to see how he does at Florida. He's been around, just reading over some of his profile a little while ago. I mean, he's been around college football for a while, so he might be a good fit at Florida.
Sorry, guys, I have bad service.
It's all right.
Yeah, man. Christian, what about you? You're muted.
More coaching change talk, huh? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I saw where Rhett Lashley got hired at SMU, I believe.
Yeah.
I think he's an Arkansas guy, so that's good for him to get that promotion into a head coaching job. At a pretty good program in SMU. You know, they're not a bad program.
Bum, what you, man?
I'm really intrigued to see who Oklahoma actually hires. You know, there's rumors going around that it's Brett Venable, but nobody knows yet. And then there was also rumors going around with Bill O'Brien going to Virginia Tech, but he's not there. You know, this is the new normal for college football. This is going to happen every year. Some big name programs are going to struggle, then they're going to go hire another big name coach, and they might struggle a little bit more, everything like that. It's on and off, you know what I mean? And I'm really excited to see who Oklahoma hires. I'm also excited to see what Lincoln Riley can do at USC. As we've already stated, a lot of guys already have decommitted from Oklahoma and committed to USC. And then on the other hand, you have to think about what Brian Kelly's going to be able to accomplish at Notre Dame. Look, I know he might be an ass, but Brian Kelly's a hell of a football coach.
Are you talking about LSU?
And it's the LSU job, and those LSU fans, they don't care about who their coach is. They just want to win. They don't care if your guy's an asshole or not. I did see a funny tweet, and I know Notre Dame hired their defensive coordinator, but it was a tweet that said the Notre Dame job is only the second thing to fall into Urban Meyer's lap this year. I would have loved to have seen that happen. That would have been so funny to see that happen, but unfortunately he's stuck with the Jaguars as of right now. But no, and I don't know if you heard me, Zach, you were off for just a second. I said
I was having tech issues. I apologize.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I was saying this is the new normal in college football. We see it every year. Now, this year, maybe a little bit more than others, but you also have so many different things going on as far as the coaching carousel. Is Lane Kiffin going to leave? We don't know. There's the possibility if Miami opens up that Manny Diaz leaves, then Lane Kiffin could go straight to Miami. You did see a picture of him on his Twitter the other day, and he said he was a big game hunting, quotes around that. Maybe he's big job hunting as well. But no, I'm intrigued to see what happens. It's not over with yet. Other guys are going to get fired from their jobs after their bowl games or after their They're like, look, if Jim Harbaugh loses to Iowa, he might be out of a job. We don't know. Of course,
I don't know about that.
He's best friends with the president at Michigan, so I highly doubt he's going to be out of a job, but you never know. It's intriguing. If Saban loses to Georgia, he could be out of a job. I'm just kidding, by the way. That'll never happen. If you fire Nick Saban, you're an idiot. But, really, really exciting times in college football to be a college football fan, and we should just stay patient because I'm sure something else will happen in the next 24 to 48 hours.
All right. Well, I want to bounce off that right quick, and I'll make it short and sweet. There's talk that Louisiana is looking at hiring Bill O'Brien. His name is one of the top candidates for the Louisiana job. There's also, the Virginia University of Virginia, they just let their head coach go. So now there's a job opening there.
When did they
fire Bronco Mendenhall?
Yeah.
Yeah, they fired Bronco Mendenhall.
Yeah, they did. They did that today, actually. I think it was today or yesterday when they did it. So, this is, there's been more coaching changes than there are transfers. But one thing I want to bounce off with the Lincoln Riley thing, there was talk that he was recruiting for USC this year for Oklahoma. And if you didn't see, the top quarterback in the nation for 2024, I believe, is already committed to USC. And he was following Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, is that 5-star that they got today? He already got a 5-star, yeah.
Yep.
All right, fellas, on the other side of the break, we're going to start jumping into the championship games. Stick with 4-Star Sports Media and the College Football Pickem Show. Back in a minute. Hey fans, did you know that 4-Star Sports Media now has a YouTube channel? You can catch exclusive content covering all things Memphis Tigers and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Shows like The Point, and the only show on social media about the Arkansas Razorbacks that is purely fan-driven inside the Hog Pen. Plus other shows like The Hog Trough, the 4-Star Sports Show, and many more coming soon. So check them out today. Go on youtube.com and search 4-Star Sports Media.
Support for the College Football Pick'em Show is sponsored by BA Masks. Alan McFerrin and company do an amazing job forging the future of face masks in football, lacrosse, and more. Justin Tuck, Robert Kimdichi, and now they are in the NIL world with BA athletes. They are BA. And now, back to the show.
All right. Razorback Zach in for Wes Pruitt on the College Football Pick'em Show. It is game time, fellas. We are jumping in head first in this bad boy. I want to thank everybody for checking us out all along our social media platforms and on YouTube. And, of course, our brand new website, 4star.live. All right, so first one up in the books is the only regular season football game going this week. And it's 2 4-7 teams. It's USC at Cal. Cal is, of course, a 4.5-point favorite. That's going to be the late game, as we all like to call it, the Pac-12 after dark on FS1. Bum, we're going to start with you. Who do you got? The Trojans?
Yeah, absolutely. Cal is terrible. USC has a little momentum. They're excited to have Lincoln Riley in there. Give me the Trojans in this one big.
All right, Will, how about you, big man?
Yeah, man, I'm rolling with the Trojans as well. They lead the Pac-12 in total offense despite their record, so I got them winning this one.
Nate, who you got? USC or Cal?
Yeah, give me USC in this game.
All right, Christian. Is this going to be your upset of the week?
Is Lincoln Riley, can he coach already?
I don't know.
Well, that'd be interesting if
I don't
he could.
think so. I don't think so.
I saw like a video of him like at practice or whatever, but yeah, I just don't think Cal. They're not very good, and USC, they're 4-7, but they can't be that bad. I mean, it's just the talent USC has, and I think what they're lacking is that coach, and they finally got somebody that seems to know what he's doing. So, can Lincoln Riley win the Pac-12 his first year? I don't know. That'd be probably a tall task, but I think they got this game under wraps, and looks like they're just going to miss a bowl game with finishing at 5-7.
I mean, it's not bad. But I don't think, going back to your original question, I don't think Lincoln Riley can coach this season, if at all, until next season.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go with
Lincoln Riley cannot coach until next season.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I thought that rule was in place for a reason. All right, so we're going to start with a couple of Group of 5 championship games before we get to the big boys. First up is the Ryan Conference Championship. I've never heard of the Ryan Conference, but it is what it is.
What?
It's Western Kentucky versus UTSA. That is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. on the CBS Sports Network. Nate, who do you got? Western Kentucky or UTSA?
Yeah, in this game, I'm going with UTSA in this one. I think they're going to pull it off after that loss to North Texas, and you can give me a UTSA in this game.
All right, Christian, what about you, man? You taking the Hilltoppers or
all the pressure's off of UTSA now. They just gotta, the undefeated season thing is off the table. So I think they're going to come out and play loose. And Western Kentucky, they're probably not going to lay down for UTSA, but I think UTSA is the better team. So I've got the Roadrunners.
All right, Will, what you got?
Yeah, I think that was a tough loss for that team, and that's an emotional thing to come off of, especially in the season they've had. But I do see them rebounding, and they're a 3.5-point underdog at this point. So I would take the points. I would take UTSA, and I would take the over in this game.
All right, Bum.
Hey guys, no, so this isn't the Ryan Conference. It is actually Conference USA.
Oh, well, ESPN had it listed as the Ryan Conference.
Maybe it's the Ryan Conference USA Championship. Maybe Ryan. I don't know what Ryan is, but maybe they're sponsoring it. I know what Ryan's was.
Ryan's
great place to eat.
Ryan's the little kid that takes toys out on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
We're not gonna ask how Will knows that.
Yeah,
I got three reasons in the other room.
That was
give
good.
Me Western
Me
Kentucky
too.
In this game. Give me Western Kentucky in this game. I think UTSA's lost their mojo. Western Kentucky is a really good running game. Former Memphis assistant Carlos Lachlan, who has been a friend of the show. We've interviewed him on 4-Star Sports Media before. Coached with him at Cordova High School, is now the running back coach over there. So give me Western Kentucky in this game.
All right. I'm going to take UTSA because I think they're going to come out. I think they're going to come out, and I think they're going to come firing out, and I think they're going to be playing pissed off just for vindication purposes from that loss last week against North Texas. So give me UTSA and give them to me big. The next one is the MAC championship, and that's Kent State coming in at 7-5 versus Northern Illinois, 11 a.m. on ESPN. Will, which one of these two no names do you have?
So I hope that I hope I'm remembering this right, but I don't really know much about either of these teams, but I'm going to take the Northern Illinois Salukis. That's their mascot, right? The little like a husky.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll with them.
Baby.
Yeah, I'll take the Northern Illinois Salukis plus 3.5.
Like MAC championship games are always like the hardest to pick.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. I guess they're just so like evenly matched most of the time.
Yeah.
Northern Illinois, I think 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer than that, or it's probably longer than that, I think they made it into like a New Year's Six Bowl or something. But since then, they've, kind of fell off the radar. But, here they are sitting at 8-4, not a bad season by any means, and got a chance to win the MAC. But Kent State, I'm sure, is going to have something to say about that. Like I said, this almost feels like just like a toss-up game. I don't know too much about either of these teams, but I'm going to go with Kent State, actually.
All right. Nate?
I'm gonna go with the head coach for Alabama, old Nick Saban, where he plays football at. I'm going with Kent State.
He's a Kent State alum. Okay. I did not know that. Baum, what about you?
Yeah, before you call anybody a no-name, Kent State's biggest player to ever play in the NFL is Julian Edelman, who is going to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And they have Nick Saban also as alumni, as Nathan just said. Give me Kent State in this one.
And not to mention, and Kent State Nick Saban was a defensive back for Kent State when he played football there.
Nice.
Nick Saban was a trash football player.
All right, next up, we got the Mountain West Championship. Utah State versus San Diego State, 2 p.m. on Fox. Give me San Diego State. Christian, what about you?
Oof. Yeah. Is it the Aztecs? I'll go with the Aztecs in this one. But Utah State looks like they're having a nice season as well. It should be a fun game.
Bomb?
Yeah, give me San Diego State. Utah State's not bad, but I think San Diego State's got a lot of momentum on their side. Give me the what's their mascot? Is it the Aztecs?
It's the Aztecs.
The Aggies and Aztecs.
Yep. All right, Will. Who you got? Utah State or San Diego State?
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Aztecs to win and cover. So I'll take San Diego State.
Next up is the Sun Belt Championship. Appalachian State, number 20.
I take San Diego State too.
Oh, my bad, Nate. My bad. We do that to you almost every week, at least one game. Since I forgot about you, I'll let you go first. Appalachian State or Louisiana?
All right, so this game, I'm going to go with I usually would pick Appalachian State. They beat Coastal Carolina in a great season. But these two teams have actually have already played each other in the regular season, and Louisiana beat them 41-13. So I'm gonna stick with Louisiana on this.
Yeah, give me the Raging Cajuns as well. Will, what about you?
I'm going to go with Appalachian State.
Louisiana just lost their coach, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Bill Napier.
It's gonna be interesting to see how they respond to that. Mentally, when your coach leaves, I don't know. Like, I've never been in that position, but I can imagine that your focus would be 100% after that. Doesn't mean they can't win, but the fact that App State, is primarily a good team. Usually, I think they're more than capable of winning this game. They're only a 3-point dog.
They were 10-2.
Yeah, they're 10-2. I mean, it wouldn't be a stretch. Yeah, it wouldn't be a stretch to say they could beat Louisiana. I don't know when they played. It may have been earlier in the season, but I'm sure both teams have gotten significantly better, and App State might be in the better shape this time around.
Baum, what about you, man?
Louisiana doesn't have a coach. Give me App State big. I think Louisiana falls apart.
Really? You're right. Yeah, give me the Raging Cajuns. All right, next up is Baum's Conference, the American. You've got number 21, Houston, versus number 4, Cincinnati. 3 p.m. on ABC. Baum, do you want to go first or you want to go last?
I'll go first. I have no problem with that. I think Cincinnati roundhouse Houston, and they move on to the college football playoff.
All right. Christian, Houston or Cincy?
Yeah, at this point, I'm kind of rooting for Cincinnati. It's just like, they made it this far. Let them in the playoffs, see what they can do. I think, they're sitting there at number 4. They control their own destiny. I just don't see Houston. I don't see them up to this challenge. I mean, they're not a bad football team, but I just, Houston typically doesn't win big games, and I feel like Cincinnati is the better team, But dang, if you look at the records, Houston could be in Cincinnati's position right now if they had, one more win. Almost say so. Yeah, I mean, 2 great seasons by both teams, but I think Cincinnati pulls it out.
Will, you got the Bearcats or the Cougars?
Yeah, I think the Bearcats are going to pull it out. I think they'll win. I think they'll cover. And assuming nothing crazy happens, in any of these other games, I think they'll make it on into the playoff.
Are they going to get? Well, that's another question for another week after the playoff rankings. Nate, Cincy, or Houston?
All right, so I've picked against Cincinnati for several times. I said SMU was going to be the team to beat them. That didn't happen. So in this whole thing, because there is a guy, he's an Alabama transfer, which is Jerome Ford, who's running back for Cincinnati. I'm going to back him up. I'm going to back up the Bearcats in this one. They beat Cincinnati. I say they cover. They cover that spread.
Okay. All right. Now we're into the big dogs. And we're going to start out with the first Power 5 conference, the ACC. You've got number 15, Pitt, and number 16, Wake Forest. Let's go with Will. Who you got? The Pitt Panthers or the Demon Deacons?
Yeah, I like Kenny Pickett and the Panthers in this one. So I think they're going to win. I think they're plenty well to lay the 3 points as well. Wake Forest, as solid as they looked early on, at least offensively, they just don't have any defense. So,
all right, Bum, the Demon Deacons or the Panthers?
I think the 2021 Heisman Trophy winner, Kenny Pickett, leads the 15th ranked Pitt Panthers on to the ACC championship, and they play in the New Year's Day Bowl against the Ole Miss Rebel Black Bear Land Sharks.
I need to pull the video where Will kind of like put all their things together. I wrote it down somewhere. I got to find that. Christian, Demon Deacons or the Pitt Panthers?
I think Pittsburgh is more of a stronger team than Wake Forest. I mean, I haven't really been impressed with Wake Forest. I mean, I know they're 10-2, but it's the least impressive 10-2 team I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I don't know how other else to describe it. I mean, they're still a pretty solid team, but I think Pittsburgh, Wake Forest doesn't play in ACC championships. I don't think they're going to know how to perform in a big game like this. Pittsburgh, they're 15. Wake Forest is 16. On paper, it looks like a great game, and it could be a great game, but I got Pitt coming out on top. 3-point favorites, or are they 3-point underdogs? Looks like
Pitt is a 3-point. Yeah, Pitt's 3-point favorite over Wake Forest.
Oh, favorite. Okay. Yeah, I like how Pittsburgh's playing. They're starting to turn it around a little bit, and they could have an ACC championship at the end of this season and get to a really good bowl game.
They could.
I don't know when the last time Pittsburgh won the ACC, but it's had to have been a while.
You picked this game, right?
What?
Who you got, Pitt or Wake Forest?
Oh, Pitt.
All right, look, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and say this real quick. Wes has his picks right here, and Zach, I don't know if you got Wes's picks on you or if he.
Yeah, I've got them.
Okay, well, Wes has picked Wake Forest for this game, but I'm gonna have to back up Big Bad Bum on this. Pickett is a heck of a quarterback. I believe he is the front runner for the Heisman. I believe he deserves it. I mean, he's an outstanding quarterback.
Bryce Young?
Yeah, Bryce ain't ready for the Heisman yet. He's not. He's not ready for that publicity. He's not ready for all that. He's got a lot of learning left to do. I mean, he's only a sophomore, so he's got several years to develop and become a better quarterback than what he is now. I know the all talk is like, oh, well, he did this. Yeah, he did things, but look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones had to sit behind two great quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa, before he got his chance to show what he got. So Bryce he's got a lot of work to do. He's still young. He's got to be more developed. So Pickett's going to win the Heisman, and Pitt's going to win. Pitt's going to beat Wake Forest.
Yeah, give me the Pitt Panthers over the Demon Deacons. Next up is the Big 12 championship. You've got number 9 Baylor and number 5 Oklahoma State. Give me the Cowboys from the Oklahoma State. Bum, what about you?
Go Pokes, baby! Give me the mullet.
Will?
Yeah, I'm going with Oklahoma State in this one. I think it'll be close. I think you could probably actually take the 5.5 points. I think that's actually kind of not a big number, but I think it's one you could go with and feel all right. I think it'll be a close game, but I do think Oklahoma State wins.
Nate, you got the Cowboys. You got the Baylor Bears.
I mean, let's just put it this way. It's like watching the NFL game on tonight, Cowboys against Saints. I'm going for the Cowboys like I am right now in this game. So give me the Cowboys, give me the mullet. Just because I want to see the mullet. I want to see him in the playoff. Just
there you go.
Don't know why. I just want to see it.
Yeah.
Christian, Cowboys or Bears? Who you got?
It would be more exciting should Oklahoma State win. So for that reason alone, I want them to win. But Baylor, man, they're a solid football team. I mean, yeah, they have a couple losses, but I mean, they just seem to always be in that Big 12 championship lately. And man, this is a tough one.
Well, look, I'm going to help you out, Christian. Baylor and Oklahoma State played earlier this season. It was 24-14. Oklahoma State beat them. So
yeah.
Can I say one thing after you, Christian?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State, but like Will said, I think this could be a really close game.
Bum.
Okay. If there's one person in college football who deserves a shot to win a national title, it's Mike Gundy. He's been at Oklahoma State forever. He's always had good teams, and they always somehow fumble it, pun intended, to like not get there, And I feel like this is the year. He's got the defense. He's got an offense who's capable of scoring. Mike Gundy's just in my opinion, I look at him and think of a good dude. I think of a good football coach who cares about his players. Chuba Hubbard might have something other to say than that, but he's kind of an idiot anyways. But yeah, like I think that Mike Gundy is the perfect guy to represent not only the Big 12, but the entire state of Oklahoma as far as college football.
Fair enough. Will?
Yes.
Cowboys or Bears?
I already picked Oklahoma State.
Okay, so we're all good, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Next up is the Pac-12. And that's number 10 Oregon versus number 17 Utah.
What a crappy game.
Is it though?
Oh, I think it's a great game.
Why, Bum? We're gonna start with Bum because now he's piqued my curiosity. Bum, why do you think it's such a crap game?
Because the Pac-12 is a crap. It's the worst Power 5 conference besides the ACC.
It's bad.
I think they have like 4 teams who are bowl eligible, and that's it.
Didn't Utah already beat
UCLA
Oregon?
Or any of those teams? Do what?
Didn't Utah already destroy Oregon?
Yes, and Utah beat the absolute crap out of Oregon last time they played. Now everybody's saying, "Well, if Oregon wins, they have an outside shot at the play." No, they don't. Shut up. They have 0.
It was going to be tough. It was even going to be tough.
Some idiot on ESPN blabbering earlier. Well, Oregon's a really, really good football team. I think they get Utah back. No, they don't. Utah absolutely beats the brakes off of them again.
Give me the Utes. Christian.
Yeah, I think Utah, like I said, they've already beaten Oregon. They've shown that they can beat Oregon. And, yeah, the stakes are a little higher in this game. But, I think Oregon kind of blew their shot, with having 2 losses. I just don't see – I'm sure they want to win the Pac-12. How much does that really mean at this point? Seems like it's meaningless, but I'm sure the players and coaches obviously it's a big deal to them. But I think Utah, if they get to that 10-3, they should be in a nice bowl. So I think the Utes are going to have something to say again, and I think Utah is going to win. Maybe not by as much as the last matchup, but I think they'll win by at least 10 points.
All right, Nate, what about you, man?
Yeah, so I actually watched the game, the Utah versus Oregon game, regular season, and dude, it was Utah had the game the whole time. I mean, it was obvious they came. I mean, heck, they rushed the field and everything. So in this game right here, it's no competition. Utah is going to own them once again. It's just this time it's going to be for the Pac-12 championship. So give me Utah on this.
All right. Everybody pick. Bum, we got you, right?
You did get me.
Cool.
I didn't pick.
All right. Will, oh, my bad, dude. Who
You're
you
good.
got?
I think you guys swayed me. I mean, I know it's tough to beat the same team twice, especially at home. And man, I mean, the Oregon did absolutely shellac them. What was it, 2 weeks back, 38-7? I mean, they pretty much manhandled them. So I'll take Utah in this one to go ahead and take the win.
All right, we're down to our final two. This one is the Big Ten. It's Michigan and Iowa. Nate, does Jim Harbaugh finally win the Big Ten?
I mean, it's a big stage, man. It is a big stage for Jim. I mean, Ohio State was a big one.
Can they win? Can he win 2 big games in a row? Is the question.
Yeah. Man. You know what? I believe when we picked the Ohio State-Michigan game, I backed up Harbaugh. And you know what? I'm going to do it again. Give me Michigan.
All right, Bum.
Actually, I'm sorry. Scratch that. Give me Iowa, because this is how Oklahoma State and Mike Gundy get in the playoff right here.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, I'll take that. Bum, you going to follow in his path?
I am an agent of chaos, as the Joker once said, and I am picking the Iowa Hawkeyes to upset the Michigan Wolverines this week. Michigan's going to choke it away. They always do. They're going to figure out a way how to. Jim Harbaugh, he's in his last steps there at Michigan. They got their win against Ohio State. Congratulations. Give me Iowa in this one, and it won't be particularly close. I think it'll be a 2-score game.
All right, Will?
I don't think it'll be a 2-score game. I don't actually think there'll be much scoring at all. I expect it to be a pretty defensive game. I would take the under. And I think while I think Michigan will win, I would take the +11 that Iowa's catching.
All right. Christian?
Yeah, these Big Ten championships are also hard to pick because they all, they're all so similar in the way they play. Michigan got a huge win last week. That really showed me something about them, that maybe they are for real this year. Because Ohio State's a good football team, and they pretty much had their way with them last week. I can see why you guys would be fearful of a letdown this week. It seems like it's kind of what Jim Harbaugh does. But I think Michigan's a really good football team, and obviously so is Iowa. But I think Michigan finally breaks through and wins that. When's the last time they won the Big Ten? It seems like it's been
a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So I got the Wolverines in this one. They're ranked number 2 in the country. Man, they've come a long way just this year.
Yep. Give me the Hawkeyes in the upset. I want to see Mike Gundy in the playoff. So give me the Hawkeyes over Michigan. All right, fellas. The game of the day in the country. the SEC championship. I like to call it the Mecca of college football. It's number 1, Georgia, number 3, Alabama. Nate, I'm going to save you for last. Bum, does Georgia finally win the SEC for the first time since 1980?
Well, Georgia was my number 1 pick going into the season. I said they were going to be the national champions. I'm standing by that pick. I think they blow out Arkansas this weekend. The Razorbacks just don't have anything for. Oh, wait, Arkansas.
Oh, I see what
in the SEC championship.
No, man.
I could have swore Arkansas was playing in the SEC championship the way y'all were reacting this year.
How about
swore it?
Y'all act like y'all beating Tulane and going to a bowl game is
could have swore Arkansas was in the the SEC championship this year.
I could have swore y'all had like a.
That's what I was told, at least. No, for real. Give me Georgia in this one. Sorry, Nathan. I kind of want to pick Alabama just because of what happened last night as far as the Memphis Georgia basketball game. But no, I just think that Georgia defense is too much for Alabama to overcome. I know Alabama's offense is really, really good, but their defense has struggled just enough this year for Georgia to put up the points to win that game. Give me Georgia in this one. They move on. They stay alive with their undefeated season. Alabama goes to the Sugar Bowl and plays a pretty decent opponent, I assume. I'd really like to see an Alabama-Ohio State rematch in the Sugar Bowl. That'd actually be pretty cool in my eyes. But, yeah, give me the Bulldogs in this one. I think they get it gone.
Will, how about you, man?
Yeah, I've got the Bulldogs winning, but I'll take the +6. I think it'll be a hard fought game. I think it'll be really close.
Christian?
Okay, so all year I've been like so high on Georgia. I mean, clearly to me, all year they've been the best team in the country. But there's something about Georgia playing Alabama in a big game. It just, I don't know what it is. So that fact alone, I feel like Alabama's gonna, give Georgia a great game, and I do not think Georgia's going to manhandle Alabama. I know a lot of people think that. Alabama will have a tough task against that Georgia defense, but on the other hand, Georgia's offense, who's not typically the greatest offense, is going to have to face a capable Alabama defense. I'm not going to say they're a great defense, but they're capable of shutting you down. So I have to pick this game. So based on what I've seen up to this point, the way Georgia has just completely dominated teams and, haven't really shown much of a weakness. And, this is Alabama they're playing. But we've also shown some weaknesses saw some weakness out of Alabama this year. I'm going to have to go with Georgia. But I would not be shocked. If Alabama beat Georgia, just because that's what they do. They beat Georgia.
All right. I've gone back and forth in this one, but again, I gotta agree with the majority here. Georgia's defense is just too much for Alabama. Alabama falls to 11-2, and they don't get in the playoff. Thank God, for the first time in the playoff era, we will not be talking about Alabama in the playoffs. Thank the football gods above.
It'd be the second time. It would be the second time.
Well, anyway,
Georgia fans are really obnoxious too, by the way.
Still, give me the dogs.
In all honesty, and since we're ending this, we're still going to do our bowl game predictions and everything, but this is one of our last college pick'ems for the year. I have to say, it has just been so much fun picking games every week with you guys. I really enjoy this. I love the fan involvement that we have, everybody chiming in, even when I'm taking shots at Arkansas State, Arkansas. That wasn't a shot. I promise. That wasn't intended to be a shot at all. But no, I really enjoyed doing this with you guys, including Wes. We know Wes is covering a basketball game tonight in CrossFit. Hope he's doing a great job there. But yeah, being on with you guys every week has been so much fun this year. I can't wait to do our bowl game picks, and can't wait to see what the final result was of as far as our group picks. You know, it should be a lot of fun, guys, and I can't wait to do it again next year.
So I got to piggyback off that. See what? Look, Bum got all sentimental, man. Had to go and get sentimental. All right, Nate. I'll let you get your pick in, and we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. You're picking Georgia, aren't you?
Nope. I've backed my Bama boys up through everything, and as a true fan, as Zach, as Christian, I mean, Will, Bum, y'all can understand. I will never pick against my Bama boys. If I pick against them, that's me showing no faith. I have all the faith in the world. And Nick Saban, I mean, there's a reason he's the GOAT, guys. There is a reason he's the GOAT. And he's going against Kirby Smart. Now, we have faced off with Georgia several times, and it's been close. It's been blowouts, but we own Georgia. And we call Atlanta the second home for Alabama. So this game is going to be a dogfight. It's going to be coming down to the final play. But the one thing that everybody needs to understand that's talking about, it's going to be a blowout. You saw in the Iron Bowl was an Alabama team that was hurting and bounced back and didn't give up, kept fighting and finished strong. What you're going to see a bunch of guys that want to make it to the playoff that's being told you're not good enough. You won't make it. Alabama sucks, and all this. Georgia's going. At this point, I don't care the winner, the loser out of this game, because the thing is, I want the SEC to represent us, in the college football playoff, let alone win the college football playoff, because the SEC is undefeated or has been winning this college football playoff for years. But in this game, I'm going to back up my Crimson Tide. I think Saban's got something planned. We have played Stetson Bennett before, and we roughed him up a good bit and threw him off his game. We have never played against JT Daniels. But in this game, I think you're going to see Nick Saban come out with a whole different mindset. You're going to see this defense of Alabama come out that's finally getting put together. And I think you're going to see a better offense coming into this game, because Alabama's got a playoff to lose. Georgia ain't got nothing to lose. They lose, Georgia's still in it. Alabama lose, they're out. So Alabama's going to play like they have everything to lose. So you're going to see a different Alabama team in this one, and it's going to be a close one, guys. And once again, going off Bum, it's been great calling these games with y'all. Look forward to next year when we get to do it all over again. And let me just say this real quick. For anybody dogging the teams that played Alabama close, y'all try to come into the SEC West and try to dominate, because you can't do it. Okay? It's the SEC West. It's the strongest part of the SEC. It's always going to be that way. Georgia and Florida have run the East like it's nobody's business, and while over here on the West side, you got teams like Arkansas, LSU, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Alabama, Auburn. You got all these big dogs. But I will say this, as an Alabama fan and also SEC fan, we've got everybody going to a bowl game this year, which is awesome.
Except for one, Vanderbilt.
Except old Dandy Vandy. So we'll forgive you, Vandy, this time, but next time try to recruit a little bit better, buddy. And
it ties an SEC record.
If we're being technical, you had two teams that didn't make bowls this year. Now and Vandy.
All right.
You had big old bad.
No.
Now they're not going to be anything.
No. We don't take Texas just yet.
Yeah. Hey, y'all claimed them when they came in. You better claim them right now.
We didn't claim them when they came in.
We didn't claim a thing.
Arkansas made a statement on them that they ain't ready for the SEC. That's what Arkansas did.
Well,
also made a statement against Alabama, and I'm going to say this: in Alabama's wins, not their loss to A&M, but in Alabama's 11 wins, Arkansas put up the most points against Alabama. The only team to do that.
The worst Alabama defense in 5 years, and you put
Shut
up
up, bum. Let me have this one.
I'm sorry.
Have this one. Yeah, no, going off of what Bum said, man, I've done this for many years and been with Four Star Sports Media for just a couple of months, and this is the absolute blast that I've had. Most fun I've had. It's been an absolute blast to hang out with you guys each and every week. I can't wait to do it again next year.
Just wait until basketball season. I know it's basketball season now, but when we start our basketball picks.
Yep. All right. That's going to do it for us, for Christian Johnston, Louis B., Brandon Baumgartner, Nate, and the missing Wes Pruitt. I'm Razorback Zach. You've been watching the 4-Star Sports Media College Football Pick'em Show Championship Edition. Until next week, so long, everybody.
Good time.